On Dark Files USA, we investigate the darkest, most disturbing mysteries hidden within American history. Today's story is one of the most chilling, unsolved disappearances in the United States, a case many believe mirrors the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident, buried deep within the frozen mountains of Colorado. This is the story of the lost mountaineers of Colorado, a Colorado mystery so unsettling that even decades later, investigators still avoid discussing what truly happened. In February 1987, 9 experienced hikers set out on what was meant to be a routine winter expedition through the San Juan Mountains of Colorado, a region infamous for extreme weather and isolation. The group included men and women aged between 22 and 36, outdoor survival experts, trained in winter mountaineering, navigation, and emergency response. They were not amateurs. These were professionals. Their mission was to complete a 10-day trek and document survival strategies in extreme cold, an expedition later referenced in search databases as part of a growing list of unexplained disappearances in the Rocky Mountains. No one expected this trip to become one of the most disturbing American unsolved mysteries ever recorded. On February 12th, the group transmitted what would become their last known contact, a moment now frequently searched under Colorado expedition disappearance case. The radio message was calm, confident, and unsettlingly normal. Weather stable, progress steady, spirits high. No distress. No warning. No fear. That calm transmission makes what happened next even harder to understand. After 5 days without contact, families alerted authorities. At first, officials suspected equipment failure, a common issue in winter expeditions. But as days passed, concern grew. A large-scale rescue effort was launched, quickly transforming into a full search and rescue operation in Colorado wilderness. What they found shocked even seasoned professionals. The group's campsite was discovered on a windswept slope near a ridge locals unofficially called Dead Man's Divide, a location now associated with Colorado mountain disappearance theories. The tent was still standing, but it had been cut open from the inside. This detail alone placed the incident among the most searched Dyatlov Pass-like cases in the USA. Inside the tent were heavy winter coats, boots and gloves, food and supplies, navigation tools, cameras and journals, everything they needed to survive, except themselves. Investigators followed footprints leading away from the camp. Some were barefoot. Some wore only socks. The temperature that night dropped to -22 degrees Fahrenheit, making this detail central to searches about hypothermia mystery cases and extreme cold survival failures. Experienced mountaineers do not leave shelter in those conditions, unless something forces them to. 1 mile downhill, search teams found the first 2 bodies near a small, extinguished fire. They were nearly naked. Their hands showed burn marks, evidence of desperate attempts to stay warm. There were no signs of violence, no weapons, and no explanation, fueling online searches related to mysterious deaths in Colorado mountains. Over the next several weeks, the remaining bodies were found scattered across ravines, frozen creeks, and deep snowfields. Some injuries were impossible to explain. One victim suffered severe internal chest trauma with no external wounds. Another had a fractured skull, yet the surrounding snow was untouched. One woman was found missing her tongue. No animal tracks. No signs of a fight. Medical examiners described the injuries as consistent with extreme force, yet inconsistent with any known natural cause, cementing the case as a prime forensic mystery in the USA. When investigators developed the recovered film, they expected ordinary expedition photos. Instead, they found images now infamous in discussions of unexplained phenomena in Colorado. The final frames showed strange glowing orbs in the sky, blurred light streaks above the ridgeline, overexposed images taken in total darkness, One photograph appeared to show a tall, shadow-like figure at the edge of the frame, often cited in paranormal investigation cases in the United States. Officials labeled the images as camera malfunction, but many remain unconvinced. All recovered watches stopped between 1:37 a.m. and 1:42 a.m. 5 minutes. Every device failed at nearly the same time, an anomaly often referenced in time anomaly mystery cases. Something happened during those 5 minutes. Something sudden, something terrifying. In 1989, the case was officially closed. The final ruling stated the cause of death as exposure due to extreme weather. No mention of internal injuries. No explanation for the cut tent. No explanation for the missing tongue. The files were sealed. For researchers of Government-Covered Mystery Cases USA, this decision raised more questions than answers. One of the most discussed explanations involves classified military experiments in Colorado. The San Juan Mountains lie near restricted air routes. Some believe the hikers witnessed secret tests involving experimental aircraft or weapons. Supporters of this theory point to internal injuries resembling shockwave trauma, unexplained lights in photographs. Yet no official records confirm this, making it a staple topic in Military Conspiracy Theories USA. Another explanation involves infrasound effects on the human brain. Low-frequency sound waves, generated by wind patterns around mountains, are known to cause panic, hallucinations, and intense fear. Could the mountain itself have driven them into madness? Critics argue infrasound cannot explain the physical injuries, keeping this theory controversial within scientific mystery debates. Local Native American legends speak of ancient entities that roam the high snow during winter storms. Not spirits. Not animals. Something else. These legends are frequently referenced in American folklore mystery cases, suggesting the mountains may not be as empty as we believe. Unlike its Russian counterpart, this incident received minimal media coverage. Some believe it was buried to avoid panic. Others believe it was simply too disturbing. On Dark Files USA, we revisit these forgotten stories, the ones history tried to erase. One journal entry survived. Written just hours before the incident, it reads, "There's a presence out here. The mountain feels aware. If something happens, don't come looking." This chilling note alone makes the case one of the most searched real horror stories from the USA. To this day, no one can explain why 9 experienced mountaineers abandoned their shelter in deadly cold. No one can explain their injuries. And no one can explain what they saw that night in the mountains of Colorado. One thing is certain. This Colorado Dyatlov Pass-style mystery remains unsolved. And whatever happened, the mountain never gave them back.